Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, and you wouldn't believe how long I spent looking for this guy. And boy oh boy was I happy when I got him. We're going to take a look at the Transformers Generations Legends class Skrapnel in the latest GotBot True review. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and check out Machinery Man, the Everything Factor, and check me out everywhere. I looked for this guy for a long time, kind of like I did with Skywarp. That was a long time. He was forever getting here, and I knew he was going to be the first of three, and I was so happy when I finally got him. I looked for him for a few months for sure. And I'm happy to have Bombshell, who I'll look at another time. And I can't wait for the Titans Return kickback. But the focus this time is on this guy. I like him. I really do. I like the way that he turned out. He was reused for Chop Shop. I didn't pick up Chop Shop because I'm really not connected to the character or invested in it, although it works fantastic for Chop Shop if you like that character. For this guy, what can I say? His paint apps. Honestly, for what I remember, I'm gonna give it a 9.5. Here's why. The yellow is a really bright yellow, and it's a little yellow is a hard one to do. Sometimes, on the chest especially, it's a little not crisp in places. It's good, it's a good coverage, but it's just not quite crisp. It's still, I mean, that's the only complaint I have with this guy in terms of paint apps. Otherwise, I think he's pretty fantastic. I don't know if you agree, but I think he is pretty fantastic. I guess we will talk about articulation next. He's scoring really well. In bug mode, these things move. His pincher things can move. His legs don't really move. He's a bug, you know. You can make him kind of walk buggy. Do you really need all of his legs to be able to move? I don't know. But in this mode, the head is on a ball joint, but because it's between the pinchers, it's really hard to move left and right. No real up and down. The shoulders, they go, you know, well up and down and out on ball joints. There's a swivel because of the ball joint for the elbow, and there's a good 90, maybe a 92, 93 degree elbow bend on this guy. I don't dig the big arms, bug arms left on his shoulder, on his forearms. I wish that there was a way that they could have folded back, to be honest with you. Minor gripe. The legs go well out to the side. They can go forward a lot. They could go back if the bug legs weren't back there. As such, they get hindered. And the knee bends a little over 90 degrees, to be honest with you. It's pretty great. There's a swivel because of the ball joint used for the knee, I think. I don't think it's a dedicated thigh swivel. He does pretty much everything I want him to do. And I guess the toes, well, the toes bend slightly, but that's really because of transformation. He does pretty much everything I would want him to do. It's just there's some kibble on him, and that makes it a bit of a pain. I'm going to give his posability, playability, for the size that we're talking about, I'm giving it a 9. Because it's good for a legend size figure. Obviously, you compare him to a bigger class or something like Masterpiece, and you know, he's going to come up short. But for the size that he is, he's pretty good. He's not perfect, but he's pretty good. Here he is next to a modern day Legends class. This is my custom wheelie, and he scales well with him. I looked at this guy in full in episode 145, I believe it was. If you take a look at it, be careful. I fell into the wheelie trap, and there's a lot of rhyming that I couldn't control. I swear I couldn't control it. Here he is with Voyager class Sentinel Prime, and I mean it's a Voyager and a Legend, it is what it is. I looked at this guy full in episode 153, but he's you know, he's pretty great, or I think he's pretty great. I think the mold works well for him, although a lot of people say it's better for Chop Shop. I don't know, I think it works pretty excellent for this guy. I like his transformation too. It's involved for the size class, but not difficult. So we'll go right into that now. If I can remember. It's been a while since I've done this guy. The toes flip down, and the pieces on the side of the shin flip forward. This piece here flips forward to over here. And I guess you can, maybe we shouldn't put those together yet. The body, it needs to hinge out from the waist, and then it comes all the way up. And his head now is behind here. So that comes all the way up. The bug legs on his abdomen, I guess, on his waist, they come out to the side, and you collapse the you collapse the two leg pieces, and there's a little slot here, and there's a little tab back right here where my finger is that slots into it. So you bring this leg up. Actually, I guess I should have shown this too. The waist is up. You untab the waist and bring that down. Then you bring the legs up, and those little tabs go into that little section. And you tab the legs together. And my legs don't want to tab together. There, just like that. You take the arms, and they will come in underneath, and you take this arm and it folds in underneath. You bring the pinchers together out front, and when you bring the arms underneath, there's, see if I can even show this now. There are that comes in, and that comes in, and there are little tabs on the purple and little holes in the back of the forearm. It's really hard to see it. I don't even know if I can show it. There's a little hole back here on the forearm, and a little tab down right there where my finger is on the purple. And purple is always a difficult one to show, but you need to get that arm situated so that the leg is out, and you can put that up over, and take this one and put it up over, and in the end, boom, there you go, insect mode. And he's insecty. I like it. I like the insect mode. I think it worked out really well. I think he looks good. Now, he came with the only representation that I ever had of Reflector as a target master. And for some reason, I don't know if it's the spring on mine or what, but my Reflector does not stay closed. There are better representations of this guy out there. And I have even discussed them on this channel. And I don't just mean Masterpiece inspired or third-party versions. And I don't just mean the BotCon, I think it was a BotCon exclusive. That was the repaint of the 3 Combiner Wars Shockwave figures, although that was a pretty good representation overall. No, I've seen things that work better as a Reflector than this. He worked for a while. You know, he's like any of these. The arms go up and down, and that's all that he does. His paint apps are Reflector-ish, but sorely lacking. This guy might be a 1. He's not great. You know, camera mode. There you go. There's actually this dinky little handle goes out for camera mode, and I guess you'd have to hold it underneath in his hand, because how else would he hold it? You could do this, but now you got a robot on top. And if you flip down the front there, the whole front comes out, and these arms go out, and it becomes a blaster for Skrapnel, or as we all know him, Shrapnel. This looks like Skrapnel's blaster. So I dig that. I dig what was done with it here. It goes in his hand. It's 5mm peg. It can go in anybody's hand. I mean, I could, you know, if I really wanted to, I could take him and I can put this guy in Wheelie's hand as a blaster. You know, no problem there. If I really wanted to, I could take him and I could put him in Sentinel's hand as a blaster. You know, that works. Storage in bug mode leaves something to be desired. You have a hole down here. You have a hole way down here, and this basically just pegs into that hole and I guess comes up over. You can have a camera or a blaster up over. It's not great storage, but where were you going to store it on this guy? Honestly, where were you going to store it on this guy? I like the transformation for the size class that it is. I think it worked out quite well, to be honest with you, and I'm very, very happy with it. I give his transformation, honestly, it's a 10. It's easy. It's easy, it's intuitive, and it's solid when it's done. This guy overall, in my opinion, for a, you know, a Generations collector or for a kid, you know, for the scale and the size and everything else that it belongs to, this guy is pretty stellar. I honestly really enjoy him. I think that he is easily a 9.5, maybe a 9.75. We're going to say 9.75. The only real imperfections are the little bit of yellow being not perfectly crisp in places, and the bug legs on his forearms. Other than that, this guy's pretty fantastic, and I was excited that he was the first entry in the in line for Insecticons. Anyway, that's it for another one. This guy is clued up. Thanks for dropping by and having a visit with me. You know that I always appreciate it, and as always, I look forward to the next time that we have a visit right here, you and me, inside the videos.